The last row, by the window, was Sophie's sanctuary. In the bustling chaos of Mrs. Peterson's English class, it was her haven. She found solace in the soft sunlight streaming through the window pane, the gentle rustle of turning pages, and the comforting scent of old books. Here, amidst the clamour of high school life, Sophie found peace. She preferred the company of her thoughts, the characters in her books, and the quiet hum of the world outside. Sophie wasn't particularly shy, nor was she antisocial. She simply valued her own company, finding solace in observing the world from a distance. The whirlwind of teenage drama held little appeal for her. She preferred the quiet comfort of her own thoughts. Sophie traced the lines of a worn paperback, her mind 1,000 miles away. Mrs. Peterson's lecture on Shakespeare faded into background noise. She was lost in a world of her own creation. The arrival of Ethan disrupted the familiar rhythm of her routine. He was a new student, his presence announced by Mrs. Peterson with a wave of her hand. He had a quiet confidence about him, a stillness that drew Sophie's gaze. Ethan was tall and lean, with dark, tousled hair and eyes that seemed to hold a universe of untold stories. He moved with an easy grace, his gaze sweeping the room before settling on the empty seat next to Sophie. A flicker of surprise ran through her. No one ever chose that seat. It was an unspoken agreement, her haven, her space. He settled into the seat beside her, his presence a quiet shift in the air around them. Sophie tried to focus on her book, but his presence was a tangible thing. She could feel the weight of his gaze, a gentle curiosity that sent shivers down her spine. The days that followed were marked by stolen glances and shared silences. Sophie found herself increasingly aware of Ethan's presence beside her. She noticed the way his brow furrowed in concentration, the way his lips curved into a small smile when he read something amusing. He, in turn, seemed drawn to her quiet energy. They fell into a comfortable rhythm, their silences never awkward, always filled with an unspoken understanding. There was a shared love for learning, a mutual respect for each other's space, that formed the foundation of their connection. They existed in their own little world, oblivious to the chatter and laughter around them. It was as if they were in a bubble, the chaos of the classroom fading away when their eyes met. One rainy Tuesday, as Sophie rummaged through her bag for a pen, their connection shifted. Her search proved futile, her heart sinking at the thought of asking to borrow one. She hated disrupting the flow of class, hated drawing attention to herself. As if sensing her predicament, Ethan wordlessly offered her a pen. His fingers brushed against hers, sending a jolt of electricity through her. His touch was fleeting, yet it ignited something within her, a warmth that spread through her chest and settled in her stomach. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the sound of the rain drumming against the window pane. He simply nodded, a small smile playing on his lips, and returned to his notebook. It was a simple act of kindness, yet it spoke volumes to Sophie. It was a gesture that transcended mere politeness. It was the first brick laid in the foundation of something real, something special. Their interactions, though still small and subtle, began to hold more weight. They found themselves working on group projects together, their shared love for literature forming a natural bridge between them. Sophie, usually content to fade into the background, found herself speaking up more, her thoughts and ideas flowing freely in his presence. Ethan too seemed to come alive in their shared moments. His reserve melted away, revealing a dry wit and a sharp intellect that both challenged and captivated Sophie. They spent hours discussing their favourite books, their shared passion igniting a spark between them. Their conversations extended beyond the classroom walls. They bumped into each other at the local coffee shop, their shared love for caffeine fueling late-night study sessions. They discovered a shared passion for indie music, spending their weekends exploring dusty record stores, their laughter echoing through the aisles. Sophie found herself laughing more in Ethan's presence than she ever had before. He had a way of finding humour in the mundane, of making her see the world through a different lens. He was a breath of fresh air, his laughter contagious, his spirit infectious. Their laughter became a language of its own, a secret code that only they understood. It was a language of shared jokes, inside jokes and knowing glances. It was a language that spoke of a bond that ran deeper than words could express. They found joy in the simplest of things, their laughter echoing through the hallways, a symphony of shared moments and unspoken understanding. Their laughter was a testament to the growing connection between them, a melody that played against the backdrop of their everyday lives. But it wasn't just the laughter that drew them together. They found solace in their shared silences, a comfortable quietude that spoke volumes. They could sit together for hours, lost in their own thoughts, yet completely in tune with each other's presence. There was an unspoken understanding between them, a sense of peace that settled over them when they were together. They didn't need to fill the silence with empty words. Their silences were comfortable, companionable, a testament to the growing intimacy between them. It was in these moments of quiet contemplation that Sophie realized how deeply she felt for Ethan. It wasn't just friendship she felt, it was something more profound, something that stirred her soul and made her heart beat a little faster.